Hi Cancer, my name is Audrey Alison. Thanks for joining me for your July 2017 forecast for the month. Happy solar return, happy birthday for the Cancerians who are celebrating July birthdays. I am shuffling the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus, which I am thoroughly obsessed with. I'm reading his books and his quatrains over and over again, and I'm inspired. But anyway, let's get to the forecast. This is a month that is positively affecting your finances, Cancer, and your self-worth and the value that you have for yourself in terms of earning and what you're earning. So on the 4th of July, Venus enters the sign of Gemini, the sign just before you. So this is a very quiet placement for Cancer because the 12th house is the house of rest. That works for Cancer in July. Cancer loves a good cat nap. So Venus here is harmonizing the house of the undoing and the house of release, rest, quiet, spirituality, peace, psychic ability. It's quiet time when Venus enters there. It's also a very loving time for solace. I feel like you could be in love with downtime, with being alone, and with sleeping and dreaming and rest and curling up and reading a good book. That's Cancer's favorite summer pastime right now. On the 5th of July, Mercury enters the sign of Leo, and this kicks off the month of Leo energy, which for Cancer and Cancer rising especially, that is your second house of finance. So please watch your rising signs if you know them, if you're lucky enough to know the time of your birth. That can all be determined, and watch your moon sign too for some input on that. But Mercury in the second house really helps with budgeting, with a great financial assessment of all of your earnings. You probably had to go over a lot of paperwork. Mercury is details, analysis of all things money, budget, self-worth, earnings, confidence, how you value yourself. On the 9th of July, we have our full moon at 17 degrees of Capricorn. Capricorn being your polar opposite sign on the wheel, that's your marriage sector. That is some closure or awareness in the 7th house of relationships or business partnerships. If you are single, there is something that needs to be seen in terms of past relationship for you. If you are also involved in your own business, you could be fully aware of I want to say maybe some deception around the time of the full moon. That's more of an intuitive feeling, and I think I might reflect in the tarot on that. Secrecy around this full moon in your partnerships, and that's okay. Not everything can be out in the open all the time, but pay attention intuitively, like you are Cancer, to what is around you or being proposed to you around the 8th, 9th, and 10th of July. On the 20th, Mars enters Leo, so he'll be conjunct Mercury, fiery planetary energy in your earnings sector. It's promotion time for Cancer again. Now, what's rare is that when Mars is in this second house conjunct Mercury, the Sun enters this sector on the 22nd. And in the second house, this planetary, personal planetary energy is massive for increasing your earnings. There's something very strong for Cancer in how you're developing your finances. Because on the 23rd, after all of this profound fiery energy enters Leo, the new moon is at 0 degrees of Leo. And like I'm saying in the majority of my forecasts, not every new moon starts at 0 degrees. In astrology, the degrees range in each sector from 0 to 29 degrees. So this new moon is at the beginning stages of your money sector. Depending on your natal chart, it might vary, obviously. But it's a clear, clean slate. It's a green light in areas of finance for Cancer. If you want to invest, if you want to receive promotion, the 23rd is the time to set your intentions coming from a place of gratitude, and this would have very powerful manifestation energies around it. On the 25th, Mercury quickly transits out of Leo into the sign of Virgo, and this will impact your ability to study, write, memorize, public speaking, it's all on point. Mercury direct in the 3rd house of communications and siblings and local travel. It makes you very busy and wanting to see things and maybe get a little road day weekend trips here and there for your vacations for Cancer. I don't think you're going too far the distance. You could be traveling locally this summer and inspired to do so with siblings and combine that family. This is also great for writers and editors. I think I said that, but journalists and teachers. Mercury in the 3rd house for Cancer, lovely. Effortless energy there. Mercury is very comfortable in that 3rd house. He governs that sector first on the astrological wheel, so he loves it there. He excels for Cancer there. On the 31st, Venus makes her final transit, but on the last day, she enters Cancer. So this is when Cancer is starting to physically look their best, and this is the entire month of August. So effective the 31st of July, Venus is attracting love to you, is aesthetically making you look your best in the 1st house of self and body, and it's a beautiful time for Cancer to shine. Let's get to the Tarot. I'm thoroughly shuffled. I'm anxious to see what comes up. I've had some extreme readings with these cards. If you've watched any of the other videos, I start crying and freaking out when I say the card's going to come out and it comes out, but this deck is really speaking to me. Let's see what's here for Cancer. I draw them face down, so I don't know what's here yet, but if you're interested in reading with me on a personal level, I'm at audreyalison.com. I read all through the week, and if you're interested in finding out how I read and my ritual with the Tarot, you can take my tarot course. The link is below in the Show More section, The Magic of Tarot, Connecting Mind, Body, and Soul. It is the cost of a 30-minute tarot reading, but you'd receive information for 3 weeks. So if you're interested, check that out. Here's your first card, the Initiate, which is the Knight of Moons, and that is the Knight of Cups in this deck. And that is a Cancerian energy. And I love this because in most of my readings, the first card using this deck, it's always related to the sign that I'm reading, even to the point of pulling their major arcana card first. So, Knight of Cups, use your intuition as you always do, Cancer. You know best. No one's going to know better than you. I know I've said this in a few readings, but maybe I haven't. Maybe I just think it all the time. No one's going to know better than you. That's why I don't use Yelp. I don't read other people's opinions. No one's going to know better than you. You don't need opinions. Cancer, you don't need anyone's advice about your money, about how to run your business, about your career. You don't use Yelp. You don't read YouTube and Facebook comments. You're not into it right now. And I think that's smart, and I think it's protective, because you do know best, is what I'm getting. The Nine of Suns, that's the Nine of Wands, and that could come with some aggressive energy and assertive energy, and maybe a little bit of sacrifice is called upon right now from Cancer. Maybe it's taking a lot out of you to focus so much on your work and your job and your earnings. And maybe you also have some competition in that arena. And I would say you're the victor in this because of your finances and how they look in your chart. Let's see what else is here. Wheel of Fortune. He writes Fortune's Wheel. I love his verbiage. When Nostradamus writes in the quatrains, he speaks in French, and then it's translated so beautifully. The Wheel of Fortune is divine timing, it's fate, it's transformation. It is the 2nd house of money. It is the fortune coming in, and it was upright. This is not upright. This is reversed, and this is the 5 of Suns. Oh, I like it. I like that it's reversed then. 5 of Wands would be extreme competition. This means it's at your back. They're nipping at your heels. Oh, okay. So the competition's behind you. I heard they're nipping at your heels because you're ahead of the game. You're leader of the pack. Yes, Cancer. You're leader of the pack. And I'm noticing when I use a new tarot deck, I'm inspired because they're not the same depictions as they are on other decks. But this little man beast here, he's kind of this pope, this priest, this wise person who doesn't yelp, who doesn't need anyone's opinions about what their business is like or what they're doing. This wise counsel, he's kind of reining that man beast by the antler. He's like, listen, I got control over all of this. In fact, you're not my competition. I've surpassed you already. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this. So confidence, yes, in the second house. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Confidence, you feel it now, Cancer. It's almost as if you already intuitively know this. You're ahead of the game. You have wrangled the competition, and it's time, it's divine time for this. Watch the tone of aggression. The only thing I have to say is the 9 of Sons or the 9 of Wands could be a little harsh in your own tone or speech. So watch that when it comes to getting ahead of the competition. You don't want to step on too many toes. However, a really great friend of mine that I've known for decades has said to me, he's so funny. He says, may the bridges I burn light my way. So sometimes it's not always a bad idea to burn some bridges. But in this case, with the 9 of Wands, I'm getting that don't step on too many toes. Don't burn them all down. Leave one. You can burn maybe 9 down, but leave that 10th one up. Leave that bridge standing just to cross back over. I hope this was helpful. I am wishing you a beautiful birthday. And remember, Cancer, to check out your Vimeo videos where I also do psychic readings. I don't discuss the astrology. I'm honed in on the tarot. And in the Vimeo readings this month for July, for my medium messages, I'm using the Cosmic Tarot by Norbert Loesch. And I'm getting into another video there, a French deck that I've had. They're not tarot cards. They're actually just intuitive cards by Madame Lenormand. And it's a fascinating tool that I use to read as a medium. So if you're into that, check me out on Vimeo on demand. And I appreciate your donations, Cancer. Have a beautiful birthday. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.